Hello, Sideliners, and welcome back to another episode of Sideline Tea. We're your hosts, Brittany, Jennifer, and Mary, here to spill the tea with two very special guests, OJ McDuffie and Seth Levit. In the first round of the 1993 draft, the Miami Dolphins select wide receiver OJ McDuffie with the 25th pick. He quickly became Dan Marino's favorite receiver, and it's no secret why. With 116 games played, 415 receptions, 8,353 total yards, 32 touchdowns, and 99 first downs, donning him with the name Mr. Third Down. He led the league in receptions in 1998 with 90 receptions and was inducted into the Miami Dolphins Walk of Fame in 2013. Big Seth joined the Miami Dolphins in 1996, where he worked as a member of the Media Relations Department until 2003. And for the past 19 years, he's been working side by side with Hall of Famer Jason Taylor, serving as the executive director of the Jason Taylor Foundation. Together, Big Seth and Juice make up the Fish Tank Podcast, part of the Miami Dolphins podcast network. And we are so happy the guys have jumped out of the tank and to the sidelines to sip some tea with us. So grab your favorite beverage, sit back, relax, and let's spill some tea. Hello, everyone, and thank you so much for joining us. We have Seth and OJ McDuffie here from the Fish Tank. Thank you guys so much for joining us. How are you guys doing tonight?
What's better than this, Juice?
No, nothing better. Big Seth. This is what it's all about. Big Seth, I think we made the big time, bro. You know what I mean? I think we made the big time, dog.
More noise right now in the Dolphins fan content creation space. You ladies are killing it. So we were really, really. Did we force an invite here, Juice? Did we?
I think we did. I think we dry bag for one. You know what I mean? You know, you like start making comments.
Start subtweeting a little bit.
Come on, all right, guys. Come on, fine. You can come on our show. You know what I mean?
No, us girls, we were also doing the same thing. We were like in our little chat. Oh my gosh, they're coming on! Yeah. We were very excited to have you guys.
Everybody gets excited for Juice. It's awesome.
Whatever. Well, I'll tell you what, though. I'm excited for you guys, man. You guys are killing it. And, you know, Brittany, you guys know I made some comments about how well you guys are doing, how you guys are kicking butt, man, and taking names, and it's refreshing. It really is, man. Great content, great guests, man, and we really do enjoy hearing what you guys have to say. That's for sure.
100%.
Oh, thank you so much.
Thank you.
That was exciting when we heard
that. We're done. I can log off just
it's been great. It's been great. It's all downhill from here anyway. So.
See you next time.
Before we started the show, we were talking backstage, and you guys told us that, Seth, you were at day 3 of training camp.
Yeah, that Friday, I think, would have been day 3, I think. Yeah, so I went Friday.
And then, OJ, you were there the first day, and then
Correct.
You've been on vacation.
Correct.
Living the dream.
So, living the dream, right? The first thing we were going to ask you guys about was training camp. So for the days that you guys were there, or what you guys are hearing, seeing in Travis's podcast that he does with Drive Time.
Crossbar! Drive Time. Always on target.
What are your guys' thoughts on training camp?
Big Seth.
You were there day 1, Juice, so you kick it off.
Well, day 1, day 1's kind of a filling out process. So you can see, like, I was always reflecting on day 1 when I was going to training camp, especially as a rookie, how nervous you are, how anxious you are to get out there, but you just don't know what's happening. I don't care how many OTAs or off-season programs they've done. When it's finally training camp, it's a whole different animal, mentally and physically. You're not going home that night. You're going to the hotel. So it was a whole day of just getting stuff done with meetings and the workouts and everything. So I was just trying to reminisce about how these young guys have to be so nervous out there. A lot of other guys, too, that might be hopefully playing for one more year that are super nervous, or somebody's coming from another team that's super nervous. There are certain guys that we know that are confident out there, don't have to worry about anything, the Tyreeks and the Waddles of the world. But there are a lot of other guys that, honestly, that's a tough deal for them. And look at some of the young guys. It's like their first job. It really is first job.
First day of school.
First day of school, it's their first job, and they've got to go out there and show and prove, man. And it's good that they go out there with no pads. I can only imagine what would happen if they had pads on the first day, because some guys would be trying to do a little too much. I think that our defense on that first day was a little aggressive. I think Javon might have paid for it a little bit on a play, being a little bit too aggressive. But it did give a glimpse of what Anthony Weaver's going to do. These guys are going to be hell of aggressive. They're going to be, they're fast, they're smart. So I think even without pads, those guys show that they're going to be pretty tough to deal with. And, seeing, of course, Chop Robinson from Penn State coming off the ball, like I've been hearing from, guys, that was fun to watch. And then, of course, you look at the wide receivers. Two obviously didn't do the 11-on-11 the first day, but he did, some of the one-on-one or the 7-on-7 and things like that. And it's like we're picking up right where we left off, and that's important.
Amazing.
That's nice. That's music to our ears.
Yeah.
Oh, I love to hear it.
Yeah, and I love that word aggressive.
Yeah.
They were.
I feel like it's a word. I feel like it's a word we didn't hear often last year, in terms of speaking about especially our defense. But yeah, I love that word, aggressive.
Well, I think Jordan Poyer brings a certain attitude to that defense,
that leadership,
in that secondary. Yeah, and it's like, you heard what he said before training camp, talk about, about how the Dolphins, that basically will fold if we get down and things like that. But he brought an attitude like, this is how we would think about you guys. I love getting their perspective, especially Buffalo. They've owned us. So I love knowing what they were thinking about us when they were kicking our butts. And bring that same attitude, bring that same attitude to Miami, and hopefully we can replicate it a little bit.
And Juice, you've said this before, like even the veterans, the guys who are returning on defense and guys who are established, it's a new DC. So they're all trying to make an impression, right? It's not, it's not like they're having the same person they played for a number of years. So in some ways, I don't want to say they're starting from ground zero, because that's kind of ridiculous to assume. Jalen Ramsey's not starting from ground zero, but and he's clearly fired up for the way that he expects to be used. But they all have a new head man on their side of the ball, so they have to bring it. And they did.
Yeah, and that reminds me, like I was talking about, Seth, when Jimmy Johnson took over Coach Shula, like everybody had to start over again.
Right.
And we had to really prove ourselves to Jimmy. And honestly, there were like 2 or 3 guys. I think they ended up being me, Marino, and I'm not sure who else might have lasted. Timbo, of course, and Daryl Gardner.
Yeah, well, he drafted Daryl.
He drafted Daryl. That was his first pick. Yeah.
But there weren't a whole lot of you.
Not a whole lot of guys, so we had to show and prove all over again. And it was Jimmy was about that, though. Jimmy was trying to make everybody nervous. Jimmy was trying to make everybody intimidated. Jimmy wanted everybody to go out there and by putting pads on us for like 2 weeks straight, prove themselves over and over again. So, not a big fan.
Not a whole other podcast.
Right here, huh, Jen?
So, OJ, do you think that the way that the locker room is being, today's locker room and the locker room that you were in, they're obviously much different. We talked about it with Travis. He said that you guys kind of all will butt heads on this subject a little bit of how the players want to be treated. And back in your time, it was more of that grit, hardcore mentality. And players today aren't so receptible to it. Is that the right word? Receptive? Yes, receptive to it. So
I love that there's a teacher in the room. I can't
believe I'm going to use some words out of context. I'm going to need correction on it.
Oh, she's great.
But you're right though. I mean, it is a different animal, and I think that the style of coaching is a lot different now too. And you could probably say this to the students that you have as well. I mean, it's a different way of handling these guys. And Coach McDaniel, he gets it. Honestly, you just got to read the room. If you got a bunch of guys that that need to be coddled, we probably don't have a very good football team, anyways. You got to have a couple guys that you might have to coddle. Other guys, you got to light them up a little bit to get them fired up. Seemed like some of the coaches I grew up with, they light you up no matter what. But that's what got the best out of people like me. Some other guys, they fell by the wayside. I I think these guys, they enjoy the atmosphere. I think that's why we get free agent guys that we get now, because they enjoy that atmosphere. They watched us on Hard Knocks. They see how Coach McDaniel handles his guys. And a lot of guys want to be a part of it where, what wouldn't you want to be a part of before down here and we weren't getting guys? Think about it. Coming to Miami, the weather, everything, the water, everything about it was just really a great place you want to go to. But some guys didn't want to come here. Now we got guys that want to come here for a lot of reasons. I think most of that has to do with Coach McDaniel and how he handles his players.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And I think some guys, but I did hear this. Me and Seth and I were wondering, when we first hired Coach McDaniel, could he be a leader of men? Yeah. You know what I mean? And we did hear that he's gotten in somebody's butt a few times, you know what I mean? Whereas you would wonder if that little man with the great personality could lay the law down at times. And
I like how we wondered about it, because he wasn't flashy out there on the field and all the cameras, ripping into people. He did that in his own time, off the cameras, when he needed to, not in front of everybody, not in front of a large crowd. He did what he needed to do to the people he needed to do it to. And everybody like you said, people wondered, could he be a leader of men? And he's doing it, but he doesn't need to be out showing it that, hey, I can be a tough guy too. Like, we got you.
And that's one of the best things. You talk to some of the guys that play for him, the Mosterts and guys like that, they say he's the same guy that he was when he was coaching a position or coaching, a skill set or whatever it was. He didn't change him, because a lot of guys, when they get a head job, you know how it is, man. They get this power, they got this all this power and stuff, and they become a different person. Coach McDaniel didn't do that. He's just maintained being himself, which is great.
This especially early, like both Juice and I went there before they even had pads on. So there's only so much football to me that you can judge. And I like to kind of look at the athleticism, who's jumping off the tape, but you're seeing them live. But, does somebody have a live arm? Do you say, wow, I can't believe how fast that guy's moving. I think Travis even talked about it on his podcast. Jonnu Smith caught a ball. He was wearing, I don't know how he was dressed when you were there, Juice, but he was all white, head to toe, white tights, white, everything was all white. Yeah. And he just didn't look like a tight end, and he sure as heck didn't move like a tight end. And he caught up. But the point is, he just was moving. And at one point I said to Travis, I said, who is that? And he said, that's Jonnu Smith. And I looked down at the roster. I said, that doesn't look like a tight end, man. So I like to see that. I wanted to see Chop and that get off like you talked about, Juice, because, I was hyped up for that on draft day. That's kind of early on. And then I kind of get to telling stories to whoever I'm sitting next to in the bleachers.
Oh my God, that would be fun.
Yeah, so
you'd be a good neighbor for me.
All right.
Yeah.
Great.
I like that.
A little storytelling. Love it.
Yeah. We saw Chop on the get off today.
Oh my gosh.
Where someone measured
Crazy.
it. Holy crap.
Yeah, I mean that's what he did. He did a lot of that at Penn State, and it was fun to watch. They talk about his numbers, but he had a lot of attention at Penn State. He never really had very many one-on-one opportunities. There's always a help from back or a tight end, and things like that. So I couldn't wait for him to get somebody opposite him. Whereas who are you going to pick and choose? Who are you going to double team and things like that? So
I know that people kept questioning the production. So Kamara had way more production, but everyone talked about his get off and how he flashed. But you saw it today, at least on that one play. It didn't matter if that resulted in in a hit on the quarterback or a sack. You were going to notice that, and that's disruptive as hell.
Yeah.
100%.
When I saw it, I'm like, that's what they're talking about.
Yeah, one thing quarterbacks don't like is people in their face, man. They don't like it. They don't like anybody by their feet, by their arm, or in their face. That's for sure.
Yeah, I was like, that doesn't need to show up on the stat sheet, but that is making a difference, right?
Right.
Okay, so this question is either going to be on the record or off the record, depending.
I love that setup.
Are we worried about our offensive line?
Who's going, Juice?
I mean, I'm not too worried yet. I mean, we're always worried every year. Yep. I mean, it's one of those things where you always seem to worry about it every year, and then you hope that you find the right mix of people, because honestly, that's all you really need is a good mix of people. Sometimes, you want a great offensive guard or a great offensive tackle. I love what Austin Jackson did last year. I do love the acquisition of Aaron Brewer. We'll see what T-Stead can do health-wise. Yep. Isaiah Wynn, Seth, I think you were kind of a fan of him for a little while, but we'll see what happens there. And we've also, when he's healthy. And then, we've got money now that we can probably spend on another guard if we need to. So there are a lot of opportunities to go there. I think our biggest problem last year was depth. If somebody goes down, do we have, the guy, the Liam Eichenberg, who's I think he played a lot better last year than he ever played. But, moving him around is going to be a detriment to him. It's a tough deal for him to be able to do that. Kendall Lamb, is trying to play probably another year. We'll see what happens there. But I tell you, the front five can stay healthy for most of the year, and we got some guys that can fill in and do a pretty good job. I like Patrick Paul too. We'll see what that big guy can do.
That's what I was waiting to talk about.
Yeah, go ahead, Big Sal. I'll let you go on Patrick Paul in that line. Go ahead, bro.
No, the hope is that he isn't forced to play too soon, but he's flashing from everything that I'm hearing, and he is an absolute monster.
Yeah.
Where, first of all, when you're that big, you can cover up some bad steps, right? You can recover quickly, but he's supposedly ridiculously athletic. He moves very well. And he's been, from what I understand, Juice, he's been giving Chop a run for his money anytime the two of those guys square up. And that's a great sign. With the athleticism that Chop has, I think that's a great sign. So very excited. It seems like he, both T-Stead and Kendall Lamb have kind of put their arm around him, and he's receptive to it. And Juice knows this as well as anybody. It's one thing to have veterans that are willing to coach up a young guy, but you got to have a young guy that's willing to take the coaching. And we've seen what it looks like when young guys aren't willing to take the coaching. And so the fact that he wants to soak it all up and be the best version of himself that he can be, he's going to play at some point. I just hope he doesn't have to play too often, because it means that your best guys are on the field.
Right. So do you think that we've addressed the depth and interior?
I think there's more work to be done.
Yeah.
For that interior line, I think there's more work to be done. I mean, you talk about a couple of guys, but we got, what I do like, and I'll tell you this, is that we've got a few guys that have been on the roster already.
Yep.
I know how complicated this system can be. And so having a few guys that have been on the roster, that aren't starters, the Lester Cottons, the Liam Eichenbergs, the Kendall Lambs, behind guys that have already been there, the Armsteads and Brewer and those guys. So that's always a key. Like I said, when it comes to offensive linemen, you just need guys that work well together. And the way you work well together is you're in a system together for a while, and you know each other.
Yeah.
Like Richmond Webb and Keith Sims, they just knew each other because they were next to each other so much. And I think the same thing can happen if you can build so much good synergy with offensive linemen if they just work together. Because honestly, we all know this. Your offensive line is only as good as your weakest link.
Yeah.
And so if we can get guys that work well together, then we can make one big chain. And that'll be the key to everything. And then, of course, with the depth. So I think they've addressed it a lot. But there's always going to be, we know this, that Chris Greer is going to be out there trying to make the roster better and better all the time. He's never going to stop looking to improve our roster. So if somebody comes available, they're going to kick the tires. If somebody's out there for a trade, they're going to see what it looks like. They're going to do a lot of things always. And that's for every position, not just O-line.
And you can only spend money in so many places, right?
Correct.
So you knew you had to redo Tua's deal. That was obviously a priority, regardless of how long it took in theory. That was clearly a priority. They wanted to redo Waddle. And then there's some other guys. And so offensive line, not to say it's not a priority, but you can only pour so much money into so many different positions. So the one thing I want everyone to chill out about, though, is the snaps. The
I was just about to say that.
Yeah, that's what
all over.
It's day 4 of training camp, and there's a new center. And so they're like, that's what camp is for. And that is a coach Juice. Is that not that's a coachable action, almost as closed of a skill as you could have in the football field, outside of maybe kicking a field goal. That's a coachable action. If somebody wasn't athletic enough, if they weren't strong enough, if they were getting beat because they just weren't, they couldn't anchor, when a defensive tackle's running on them, or they're, but this Brewer is a ridiculous athlete.
Yeah.
Like, those are the things you can't coach and you should be excited about. I think they'll figure out the center to quarterback snap.
I'm not worried that much about the snap thing. I would think that, A, it's a new combination. B, it's a lefty quarterback. There has to be some kind of small nuance that is a little bit off. We're talking milliseconds, right? So I would assume that there could just be something a teeny bit different than about snapping to a dude who, it's not chiral, who's to a different side of his body. And I'm sure that's going to come with repetition. That doesn't worry me.
Yeah. People just get up in arms about it, and it's insane.
It's brand new.
So the day I was at camp, I stayed around for some of the pressers, and Liam Eichenberg apparently had taken, I didn't watch it closely. I'll be the first one to tell you, I don't spend a lot of time watching the offensive line, but he had taken a lot of snaps at center, and he was asked about, okay, today you're at center. Do you know where you're going to be tomorrow? And he's like, look, I show up, they tell me where to go, and that's what I do. But he was asked about the snapping. And he said snapping is hard, and particularly in this offense, because those guys are coached to really fire off the ball. They're coached to like literally sprint off the snap. And so he's like, it is hard to run full speed with your hand between your legs and try to block a guy who's, athletic and 300 pounds and the whole thing. And so I went, and Travis was, I think he was listening to Kendall Fuller or whoever. And I said, man, Liam said something really interesting. He said, I wonder if that's part of what we're seeing here is because this offense in particular, it plays such a heavy emphasis on our big guys to fire off the ball. And if they're going wide, they're sprinting one way or the other. And so, that's got to be a priority in that center's mind, is to do all of those things. And so something that should be routine sometimes looks like it isn't. But I am not worried about it, and I wish everybody would take a deep breath.
Yeah, and
it's
on
like
top
if
of that,
I were
big
to.
stuff. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I was just going to compare it to school. It's like if I were to judge my students based on the work they produced for me in that first week, as opposed to what they've gained and what they've learned after sitting in a third grade classroom. I can't test them on third grade stuff when they haven't been,
Haven't been in third grade. I've only been in third grade for a week.
It's the growing pains that happen though with each beginning of the season, just like each beginning of the year. So
love it.
And
I think we're just excited.
On top of what you're saying too, Big Seth, is that even with the firing off and getting the ball back, we have so much motion and movement. The timing of every single snap is so incredibly important, because our guys never just line up and then they snap the ball. There's guys in motion, there's guys doing the cheat motion, there's guys doing the shifts, and all that stuff has to time up, and it really starts with the center, from the court. That's why we have some trouble on the road sometimes. When you can't communicate like that. That's why sometime on the road we can't do a lot of things we like to do that we do well, because the crowd noise would take all that out of you. So when you're at practice and you see these guys, the snaps are later or the quarterback's pulling out of there too soon, a lot of that's due to all the smoke and mirrors that we have with our motions and our shifts, and it becomes a tough deal. So somebody's first time into that offense is going to take some getting used to. I think but he'll catch up real fast. Veteran guy, they'll catch up pretty fast.
Butchberry, we trust.
Yes, I do. I definitely do.
I like that saying, though, there's more work to be done. My dad literally has a shirt that has that he walks around the house with that. I feel like we should get that for all the O-line coaches. More work to be done.
Everybody.
That's right. Right. Always. Anybody satisfied, they're lost for sure.
The one player I will admit that I am kind of hard on is Liam Eichenberg. But I want to take this moment and say something positive. Is he's up for anything, and he will push through, and he will show up, and he's so dependable. So thank you, Liam Eichenberg, for that. That is my nice thing I have to say for you. I hope that you change my opinion this season.
Listen, if he didn't step in and play center for the first time his entire life and do it and was capable with it, you wouldn't have had 11 games. 11 wins, and you probably wouldn't have been. I don't. At that position, you wouldn't have been in the playoffs if he didn't come in and give a serviceable effort. So, was it a Pro Bowl effort? It wasn't. But I mean, you got to give the guy credit.
Go ahead, Jen. Look at Jen.
Thank you.
Jen is dying. She's dying.
That's fine. Okay. That's all good. Good for you, Nancy. I said good for you, Nancy. Liam, thank you. Great. But this goes back to what Juice was saying before. Like, I trust Greer's gonna, they're always looking. They're always looking to make improvements. Not in the O-line. We don't think that. Should we have been in a position to not have a backup center last year? No.
Yeah, but you know what? Here's the thing about it. You only have, hell, every game is only like 7. There's only like 7 linemen out there.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, don't you think there should have been a backup center in camp?
There was. It was Liam
Eichenberg.
He did great. That's a lie, and you know it.
For what his skill set was, what he was brought in here to do, the fact that he got thrown in there, you won 11 games, you had a historically successful offense, and he was a part of that.
I don't know. I think there should have been an actual backup guard who had ever taken snaps before as like an actual plan in place. Should a center, when you just emphasize for how long about how much motion, timing, everything, and how important that is to this entire offensive scheme, like that seems weird to me. That seems like not having almost a backup QB.
But if you bring in another center and that's all they can play, Jen, then what do you do? In case he doesn't get hurt, then you get somebody else goes
What
down to the
about
other
Connor
positions.
though? I just don't understand why we let Connor walk.
Well, it hurt. I don't know.
Money, all kinds of different reasons that we had to let Connor, let him go.
I understand that, but there were plenty of people in the draft this year who could play all along the interior.
You want to draft a center?
I'm just saying
not a center, but a guard.
A guard. I wanted to draft. Did I want to draft a guard? Yes, I absolutely did.
A guard who could play center.
I guess my question then, Jen, is at what round did you want to draft a guard that could play center?
I'm not going to lie. I wanted that before Chop. I would.
You wanted a first round guard center.
Hold on. No, I would have liked Graham Barton. I'm not lying. Yeah.
That's why I wanted Graham Barton.
Okay. I would have liked Graham Barton. Obviously, we wanted Troy. That's
but he was gone already.
And he went a pick before us, right? Because
did you see that he was
take everybody's O-line picks?
He was beating TJ Watt today. All right, that's not Dolphins.
We might have gone that route if we didn't have such so many
problems with the edge rushers, and I understand that. Okay,
yeah,
I get that.
I think
so you know what that makes
staff,
me feel better.
You have to prioritize certain positions, and I think that this coaching staff believes that they can coach up guys at a certain level to play capable enough to allow their superstars at every other position to excel. And so they have to make certain decisions. And it seems to me that that's where the emphasis is played. And so it's something that if we like 70-point games and we like 500 yards and we like Tua throwing for 4, 5, 6 touchdowns, then we have to say we're probably going to have a few journeymen on our offensive line, and maybe we'll have 1 or 2 guys that elevate into a Pro Bowl caliber level, and maybe we get to keep some of them, maybe we don't.
And Britt had a tweet about that today, or was
she did? I was just thinking about that.
Mm-hmm.
And and I know you guys are laughing at me about that. We wanted to draft a center/guard, but look at it. Like Patrick Mahomes has had Creed Humphrey his entire career, amazing center. He's about to be the highest paid center with his new contract coming up. And then you look at Jalen Hurts, who had Jason Kelce, also a Hall of Famer center. Yeah. Look at all of these quarterbacks whose team has had great success, and look at the center they've had. It's been
well look at both of those. Jalen got Kelce after Kelce was already an established pro.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that's usually the thing. We really want grown-ass men in there. It's hard to get college kids to go out there and play at a certain level. We call it the big gams, right, Big Seth? So you want some guys that have played it for other teams that come over that we know can play at this level in the pros, So that's what we always feel like.
But Connor Williams sorry, I was just going to say the guy who was starting was playing at a Pro Bowl caliber level. You had a guy,
but he got there from another team, and that's why I don't mind getting that offensive line from some men that have been in the league for a little while.
I'm there.
Agreed, and we agree that we also know this is just the tree that he comes from, right? This whole basis of the offense,
the philosophy,
right? Yes,
it just doesn't
run game coordinator. It's pretty dope with it.
Yeah, yep.
He's got to stick to the run. If we can get him to stick to the run, if we can get him to run it on 3rd and 1 and 4th and 1, I think that'll be our whole key. But we got to be able to convert it. If we don't convert it, he's going to abandon it again. I get it. Yeah. I understand where he's coming from there. But we have to really start getting to those down and distances more often than we have, and converting them by sticking to the run and give Alec Ingold a bone. He'll get it. Like Lusaka Polite back in the day, right, Big Seth? We got some guys that that have to be able to go in there and grind it out. Everybody knows if you line up under center, you got formation. They know you're running the football for the most part. Yeah. It's about your will and your want.
Imposing your will, right?
Exactly right. Exactly right.
We could talk about this for all day. We must move on.
And we're gonna.
You're driving. We're just happy to be here.
Jen, what's wrong? Did you forget your dad jokes?
Yeah, don't worry about it. It's all right.
I literally said to Mary.
You saw the look in your eye.
Look at
is that legal? Is that legal?
It's got some cliff notes over there.
I found it in my classroom today. My mom was helping me with my library, and I'm like, I need that. Give that to you.
Good.
That's
amazing. Jen needs your help.
I would have like 30 minutes. Yeah, I'd have like 30 minutes of silent reading last year, and I'd look over, and there's a kid reading dad jokes, and I'm like, that dude, pick another book. That's like, put it away.
Hilarious. That is so cute.
Let's do Dolphins Olympics because
Dolphins Olympics.
Seth and OJ can.
Your event is beach volleyball, and it's going to be Team Seth versus Team OJ.
Let's
You
go.
each are going to pick 2 players for your team on the current roster. Should we switch it up? You can pick any Dolphins.
Of all time?
A dolphin in their
Yeah.
prime?
Yeah.
Current,
Dolphin in their
Current
prime.
Well,
Current.
you got
Current.
this.
All right.
What's your deal?
Current roster. Current
Okay.
roster. And then me and the girls, we are going to pick the team that wins the gold.
Nice. Nice.
All right.
How's this working? Is it a draft? Do we have to flip a coin?
A few moments later.
All right, first
yes,
pick
first
in my beach volleyball Olympic draft would be the best setter, passer, setup guy out there,
Ooh.
the money man, Tua Tagovailoa.
Show me the
All
money.
right, all
Wow.
right.
That's my guy, my
Okay.
setter with the other colored jersey going. Well, actually, they both wear the same beach volleyball, but you know what I mean, though.
Beach volleyball, both. I played beach and I played indoor. Beach, you got to do it all, man. There is,
You do.
Beach is a beast, but I like that pick.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
Well,
So
you still got to have your setter, though. You still got to have your
Yeah, you
setter.
do. You do.
He's back there digging. You know what I mean? Some
Yep.
kills. We got this.
Is it my turn, Juice?
Yeah. Who you
Yeah.
got? Seth?
Yeah.
So with my pick, then, if you are going with Tua, this is great because my draft board looks clean. My number 1 pick is still on my board. We talk about
On
a
the
guy
clock.
who can do it all. I'm on the clock. Am I taking too long? I am going with a guy with a 41.5-inch vert. He's got
Okay.
long arms. He covers a tremendous amount of ground. He is an elite competitor. I'm going with Jalen Ramsey.
Yeah.
Knew it. Yep.
That would have been
Yep.
my first rounder, my pick.
Dude,
I don't
I'm
know.
not
OJ's
saying that
like,
you gotta come from
oh.
behind here, but
Yeah, I don't know how he passes on that. You know what I mean? But now that they said that was their first pick, I mean, I'm already behind right now. You know, I mean, so
It's Brittany's first pick for
yeah, the
anything.
first pick.
Yeah, he's my favorite.
But in terms of beach volleyball, like he is got a good size
Yeah.
for beach.
He's
Yeah,
sitting
but you
at
know what,
nine,
though?
He can get up
It's
over
his-
the net.
Yep.
Yeah.
But you know what though? I hear what you're saying there. So let me get my argument in before I pick.
Wait a
my
minute,
second.
pick your
All right.
squad. This isn't like destroy
I
my
gotta get my
team.
argument in.
Squad,
They're
man.
already,
He's
it's
a
already
one-man
tainted
band
already,
right
Big
now.
Seth. It's already tainted. So I got to make sure, just because he can get over the net and beat, you said you have to do everything. Can he set? Can he dig? Can he play the
100%.
back?
But setting
I have
in
no
beach
doubt.
isn't as all right. Setting in beach isn't as I get what you're saying, but
This is
I feel
Jalen
like he's got
Ramsey.
the-
Did we see that
he's
pick
got the
against
defensive
Oakland to
read.
shut that game? Like this is or Vegas, I guess, not Oakland. God, I'm old. But
Right,
it's
well,
Jalen
all right.
Ramsey for crying
You
out
seem
loud.
you seem
dude.
to be really nitpicky on the setting. I keep hearing you say
Well,
set.
you know what?
Set,
I
I think
watch
he's
set.
a
defending
lot
his
of beach
first round
volleyball in the
pick.
play.
I've seen this movie
And I
before.
found out that you can't get dirty. I don't see Jalen Ramsey getting dirty out there either. I don't see him
What?
digging anything out. Big Seth, you know what I mean? I think
All
right.
he's not on the ground very much. You know,
What?
if you're not willing to get sandy, you can't play beach volleyball, bro. You got to take some guys willing to get sandy. You know
Do you
what I mean?
remember the
Obsessed
Raiders
with
game
setting.
for crying out
No,
loud?
I'm just playing.
Nah.
All right, so
Doesn't
who else you
prioritize.
got, Juice? You got
All
one
right, yeah.
more
What's your
spot
team?
to round
Okay,
out the
so
squad.
with that being said, Big Seth, I'm going my number 2. I was going to go with a homer pick, and you know what that would have been, but that's
I
not
know
what
exactly
I'm going
where
with.
you were going.
You will, none of you guys are going to understand this one until I tell you some things about this guy. So
Oh,
my
here we go.
is Jody Fortson Jr. At 6'6", 40-something plus vertical, athletic as hell, can move in the sand. I heard he could. I've never watched him move in
Let's
the
say,
sand.
what are you seeing? Moving the
I mean,
Making
you know,
sure
He's seen
Make
his
it
beach
up
workouts. He's seen his beach workouts.
he's in the sand. You know, I didn't.
Add it to the player profile. Can move in sand.
The
Kuiper,
tight end
Kuiper had
position that can do all that definitely can play beach volleyball, especially at 6'6" with
It's
a
a great
40 plus vertical. That is
That's
my
a
guy that Tua is setting it up to, and he's bringing it home for me, Big Seth.
That sounds
Now,
like
Jalen Ramsey can get up, and block that. God bless him. I don't know if he can, though, Big Seth.
I know he can. I have all the faith in the world in Jalen, but I am with you with my second round pick. I'm going to go with the same position group. I like that you're choosing somebody who's a tight end. But I'm going with a guy who was a high school basketball player. He was also a high hurdler in high school. He's got a 39.5-inch vertical leap.
Didn't get over 40?
That's not-
And he didn't get over 40. He's 6'3". He's not quite 6'5", 6'6". But
This guy's
I think the combination of this guy with Jalen Ramsey, I'm going with Tanner Connor as my second pick.
Oh.
I am confident, Juice, and I'm not even a betting man anymore, but I would put money on my squad over your squad.
Wait,
I
I'm
don't
gonna
even
tell
think
you
it would
this,
be
Big
close.
Seth. You do not watch beach volleyball because everybody's got a little one and a big one, man. You know what I mean? Everybody. Am I lying? Mary, am I lying? Everybody's got a little one and they got a big one.
Let me tell you something. In the Olympics, they're all big.
She's not
some of them.
co-signing
I
me,
mean,
dude.
about
She's
5'11" and then 6'5", you know what I mean? But I get it.
Right.
I'm saying, though, Big Seth,
Yeah.
you got a couple guys that
You do. You have your
all
defensive
they want to do is
specialist.
spike the ball. You can't win like that, man.
I am telling you, you are not
spiking.
giving Jalen his catch radius. Think about that Raiders game. You are not going to get a ball
There's
on
no
the
catching
ground.
in volleyball, Big Seth.
But I'm
There
saying
is no catching in volleyball.
He can get there. He is an elite competitor. I don't even think this is going to be close. But
Now,
my team is on the sand. It's up to the ladies to make the choice.
What do we have to do to get these guys to actually play each other in beach volleyball? How much? What do we gotta do?
Money.
Now I need the money.
Yeah. Can you just go up to them? Hey guys,
on your new field that Tua built for you.
Yeah. All right.
Oh, that's a good idea.
All right.
Throw some sand on it. There we go.
That'd be great.
Mm-hmm. So, you guys comfortable with your teams? Feeling good?
I'm very comfortable with my team.
All right, girls. I think that we all picked our own teams. My team was Ramsey and Waddle. Mary, what was your team? I think all three of us had Ramsey on our team, though.
There it is.
Yeah, we had Ramsey and I had Hill. Ramsey and Hill. Hill with the speed.
We thought about Tyreek.
You need that quickness, especially on defense, and he's got good. I've seen him play those little, those games, whatever, the reaction games.
I'm sorry, but I don't think. I think.
Yeah, that's good.
I didn't think about that. I would have gone Jalen and Jonnu.
Oh.
So okay,
that's the story. I like Jonnu. Now I thought Seth was going with Jonnu after his story.
Yeah, I did too. Or I thought someone was going to bring back Mike Gesicki because wasn't he actually a beach volleyball player?
He was a volleyball player, but he wasn't on the
American high school.
Hell of an athlete, right? Yeah.
He's up in Cincinnati.
Where's he from, Big Seth?
Like, where is he from? Somewhere in
yourself, Big Seth.
Yeah, just big. But so Jonnu and Jalen, I think you get.
All right, I'm putting my vote in.
A lot like my team.
Good one. I like that one too.
I like OJ's Jody, but I like Ramsey better. So I'm going with Seth. Mary, who are you going with?
This is like AGT.
For how hard OJ fought for his team, and he seems to he seems to know the game of volleyball. I mean, I'm going with OJ.
You disagree with everything he said, and now all of a sudden he knows the game.
I'll take a simple vote. I'll take it. Thank you very much.
Oh, Jen,
gotta be nice.
Tiebreaker. Jen,
So I probably because his team is built in my team's image, I'm gonna have to go with Big Seth.
I get it.
We just were kind of on the same. We had the same vibe.
But listen, I think if it was me and
it's a winning vibe.
That's right. I'm also a size problem. Who somebody's. I'm picking.
Yeah, she's noted to say size matters a lot.
Stand away from that.
Mary, you were saying something?
I was gonna say. I think if it was actually me and OJ versus the three of you, I think we'd whoop your butts.
That's what I was
no doubt.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
I can't speak for those two ladies, but I am terrible at volleyball. I was ruining my whole middle school experience.
Our next segment is Would You Rather? And these are going to be questions. You both can answer them. So I'm going to ask one. Mary will ask one. Jen will ask one. You guys can decide who wants to go first, but there are questions for both of you. Are you guys ready?
Ready.
Would you rather wear a bib every time you ate out or drink from a sippy cup every time you're at a bar?
Seth's is easy. I know what Seth's going to say.
Easy.
Yeah, but for me, it would be a sippy cup all day. There's no shame in my game. There's no shame in my game.
Cannot wait to put that photo together.
Yeah, I don't want to waste a drop if I'm out there drinking. You know what I mean? That's how much drinks cost down here. You gotta get every last drop of that.
It's true.
I'm all about the sippy cup. I don't drink, first of all. So, like, I don't need to worry about some fancy shot glass or pint glass, whatever. So, give me the sippy cup. You can put my water, my ginger ale, or my Mountain Dew in it. I'm all about it. I don't spend a whole lot of time in bars. So, give me my sippy cup.
Or a restaurant.
Or
it applies to restaurants, too.
Yeah.
I did say
sippy
bar,
cup
though,
still. Yeah. The bid
sippy cup all the way.
I'm way beyond it.
Would you rather be unable to use search engines ever again or be unable to use social media ever again?
Oh, easy.
Go ahead, Big Seth.
Yeah, for me, I would rather be unable to use social media ever again. I can live without social media. Probably not great for business on the podcasting side, but I can live without it. But to lose a search engine, like research is kind of pay some of my bills with research. So I need a search engine.
Yeah. See, I can do out the search engine because I got Seth for that.
He's got me, right?
That's my search engine.
That's probably the best combination.
He's my Google. You know what I mean? So
there you go.
Yeah, I would not want to do without social media because I like to mix it up in there a little bit. Just for but what and giggles. So I'm just like So it's like it's fun for me. Sometimes I'm bored. I just start some stuff up a little bit just to get it going a little bit. So yes, that's my search engine, and I'm give me social media all day.
Then we're in good shape.
Right.
I'm just going to give you the password to the Fish Tank Twitter account.
Right.
Cool.
Oh wow! While you're at it, would you rather be multilingual, like as many as you, whatever language you want to know, or be able to speak to animals?
Ooh. Interesting.
I'll take the animals, man.
I knew Juice was going with
that. Yeah. I'm good with English, man. I'll leave English by itself, and then I would love to be able to speak to animals. That'd be fun as hell.
Hell yeah, you've got Seth as a translator anyway. Yeah, I'm talking to my dog all day, every day over like a lot of things.
Yeah, man. I think it'd be fun to talk to a dog or somebody else's dog. You know what I mean? While they're walking down the street with them, and they're like, "How'd you get that dog?"
Trash to the other dog?
Yeah, that'd freak somebody out, man.
Or your best friend's dog. Like, what does she say about me? Like,
that's right. Everything. Oh, so you're beating dog? What's he doing?
Yeah, I see no value in the animal talking thing. So multilingual for me. And I'm looking at my two kittens over there fighting with each other right now. They respond pretty well to English, so I'm doing pretty good. My wife is from the Philippines. I really should learn her dialect. I think it'd be great.
Well, I know you know a few things, Big Seth.
I know a few things that I've been called that are probably not the nicest. I guess the sad part about this is that I have control over that. Like you guys want to be the Dr. Dolittle thing, and that's fantasy and it's not real. I actually, if I really wanted to be multilingual, then I should work harder.
Mary, you're going the multi-languages?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Gosh.
Sometimes
I'm going for the animals.
I don't want to know what my dog thinks of me. I don't I don't
want
to know.
Pretty easy. Now this is about relationships. Mary, this is about relationships, right?
Relationship
so the relationship with your dog, you should know what your dog wants, and vice versa, right?
And when they're sick, don't you want to know what's wrong when they're sick?
They tell you. They tell you with their actions. Oh, you're not eating. Something must be up. But like, if my dog's gonna judge me for eating a third bowl of ice cream, I don't want to hear it. I already get enough judgment about that. But I honestly though, I just went to abroad for my honeymoon, and people that live abroad, and make this short, they speak 5 languages, 6 languages, easy. And I feel like such a scrub because my dad is bilingual, Spanish and English. And I'm like, man, like Seth, you're absolutely, like, these are things that we can control. And here I am, like, just only hablo inglés, no hablo español. So it's like...
And we're like the only place in the world that is this ignorant about it too.
And we are. That's what I was going to say too, Jen. We don't care.
We're almost arrogant about it.
We do not care.
I mean, look at us. Yeah. 3 of us choose dogs.
We'd rather speak to dogs than learn another language. There you go.
All right. Next question. Would you rather only be able to whisper or only be able to shout?
Man, I'm always loud as it is, Big Seth. So I think I'd go with whisper. You know what I mean? I think I'll go with whisper. But then again, sometimes you don't want to be too close to people either, man. You know, you
But there are.
man. I don't know. That's a tough one right there. I guess I have to shout then, man. I'm going with shout.
You make me want to shout.
Look at the dogs here. Making the dogs hear the whisper. Yeah, I would take whisper. I mean, if I could only do one, I wouldn't want to be the guy running around and I'm probably
Shouting.
a little bit too much of that anyway.
Hey, I do it already, Seth, so it doesn't matter to me, man. I'm always the big mouth in the room. So,
Listen, there are things to amplify the whisper like a microphone, but there is not anything to tone down the shouting.
Yeah.
Wow, that is very smart.
All right.
But this yin and yang is why Juice and I make such
It
a great
is.
team, right?
You guys
He's
are
talking
so
frogs,
yin and
I'm
yang.
learning another language. He's
Jeez.
shouting, I'm whispering.
Right.
I'm researching
Social
on
media
Google,
search
and
engine.
he's tweeting about it. So yeah, there we go.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, would you rather see the Bills be the next dynasty team
Oh,
God.
or
what else?
have to listen to Tony Romo and Jimmy Johnson commentate every single football game?
You
What's
cannot
Jimmy
mute
Johnson?
it. Can't
What's
mute
Jimmy
it.
Johnson?
Juice
Like
is,
Coach Jimmy Johnson?
Yours, yeah, yours.
He said yours.
Man. Seth, you know this one's brutal right
geez,
here,
You're in
bro.
trouble.
Got him.
You're in trouble. I know what I want, but
Go for it.
yeah, you're in trouble.
So
So I'll go first.
I've been
Okay,
in the
please.
same room with Jimmy, recently, so I guess I could listen to him talk.
Every single football game.
And you can't mute it.
Oh Lord! Now give me Jimmy
Every-
and Tony, man. I'll take Jimmy and Tony. Just go. I can't let the Buffalo Bills do that. That's all.
Yeah, a
I'm too-
dynasty. A Bills dynasty.
Yep.
Yeah.
Damn, no, man, that's a tough one right there, man.
I'm yeah, I'm with Juice on that one. And it's easy for me. Like, it doesn't bother me at all. But, he and I have, again, there's a yin and a yang there. But the Bills,
Jimmy's his boy. That's why. Jimmy's his boy.
I had a good experience, very different than
And hell with
yours.
Jimmy.
But there is, like, how could we, anybody who operates in this space that the three of you are operating in, that we're operating in, that says that we will take the Bills as the next dynasty, shame on you. Pull your Dolphins card and go find another team.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't even
Say
want
it
the Colts
louder.
to be the next dynasty. They're not even in our division
I'm
anymore.
whispering. I can't say it any louder. But Juice.
Hell yeah.
All right. Would you rather be tackled by Zach Thomas all game long or be intercepted by Jalen Ramsey on a game-winning drive? Wow. I'm not going to be
I'm throwing the
21.
pick. I'm throwing the pick. All right. I mean, there's a game 1 of the season. There's a
Yeah,
the
well,
Super
like
Bowl.
what week of the
Okay,
season?
so
is
okay.
it? It's the Super
When
Bowl.
It is the playoff game.
It's against
Where
the
it's
Bills
regular
for the
playoff
Game is
division
on the
last
line.
season.
And you haven't won a
yes.
playoff game in 20-something years. It's that game.
Yeah. Or
Well, you know what? If you throw that pick, you'll still survive. If you let Zach hit you every play, you might not survive that. You might not see another
this
season.
is the AFC East Conference game to go to the Super Bowl.
Conference
Yeah, I'm gonna take that. I'm gonna throw
Listen.
that pick. We'll tee it up next year.
You're lying. You are straight up
You
lying.
think I'm gonna let Zach hit me over every
All
play
game.
game
All
long?
game.
He's lying. I don't believe him, but that is a respect for Zach, and I have tremendous respect for Zach. But you're saying we have a chance to push the Dolphins into the Super Bowl?
I mean, that
Well,
was a little.
here's the thing
I was
about it,
really
though.
trying to see how
If we
far
do get
OJ
into
would
the
go.
Super Bowl, Big Seth,
Yeah.
I'm not playing.
No, I'm out.
Yes,
I'm
that's
sorry,
true.
taking me
You're
out.
out.
Here's the thing.
You're
It's
out.
one
That's
hit for
true.
me because I'm not getting up.
One
after
hit
the first
wonder,
hit.
baby.
So it's it. So you're saying I've got
One-
a chance to take one hit, or I can throw the winning
And then-
touchdown pass.
No,
And you watch
it's
the Super
all
Bowl
game
from
long,
home.
Big Seth. You gotta
But
get
I'm not
hit
going
all
to last
game
all
long.
game. I'm
He's one and done.
like, you think I'm going to hold up?
No, I mean, honestly, a guy that like myself that never got close to getting to that game, we got to take our chances on that. I would definitely rather have an opportunity because honestly, it's not about me in that situation. So if I do have to take some lumps for the team, we can get into the Super Bowl. That's what it's all about, anyways.
Yeah.
And plus, if I get hurt in that game, hopefully I can heal up in 2 weeks. Big
You got
Seth.
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
You will
Yeah.
be fine.
You might have a couple
will be
broken
in-
ribs, but
Right.
So that's the difference.
See, now I wouldn't be. Now I'm not fine, Brittany. See, now I'm in traction and stuff. They got to come visit me in the hospital.
I know what you played through.
I did have a question. I did have one more question on here, but I took it out because I wanted it to be like more friendly for both of you. But now I kind of want
Go
OJ
for
to
it.
answer this one.
Let's do
It was OJ, would you rather be on a deserted island alone for a week or spend the afternoon alone with Jimmy Johnson?
Oh, give me the afternoon with Jimmy Johnson.
Really?
I'll whoop his ass. Give it to me. No,
what is happening? Oh my God.
No, so yeah, I'll spend some time with Jimmy. Maybe we can make amends. You know what I mean? He doesn't like me, and I don't like him. That's all. That's just the way it is.
Oh wait, he doesn't like you either?
No, it's mutual.
Oh, I didn't know that he didn't like you either.
No, it's mutual.
Thought you just did.
Oh, it's mutual.
Yeah, it's mutual.
So that makes it even worse, I feel.
Yeah. It's mutual.
I love it.
And I'm glad he knows too. I let it be known all the time.
I respect that.
We didn't get to do dad. Oh my God, we have to do dad jokes though.
We got you. Yeah, we can do it.
Okay.
Let's do it. I can't believe Mary has the book out. Like she has the book. I'm pretending.
Mary, send me that.
The rest of us are at least pretending that we came up with these.
All right. Are you guys ready for some dad jokes?
Let's do this.
Yes.
What is Starbucks' favorite city? Fort Lauderdale.
Oh, that is definitely a dad joke right there.
That is.
Fort Lauderdale. Okay.
What do you call a wizard who's really bad at football? Fumbledore.
Oh. I don't know why there's all the raw milk things, but did you know that milk is the fastest liquid on Earth? It's pasteurized before you even see it.
Why did the watermelons get married?
Why,
and
Juice?
Cantaloupe.
Oh.
So, Juice, this morning, I'm not the most athletic guy, and I tripped walking out of the room. I tripped over a box of Kleenex, and I really thought that I injured myself, but thankfully, it was just tissue damage.
Oh.
A horse walks into a bar, and the bartender says, "What's with the long face?"
Mm-hmm.
All right. Okay. So this is I think appropriate for the space. How does Ace Ventura respond to people who don't like coffee? All righty then.
I like that.
All right. Okay, Big Seth.
See that?
I like it.
What do you call a laughing jar of mayonnaise? LMAO?
Do you get it?
Oh, God.
Mary is cracking herself up over there. That book is never going to make it back on the shelf for those kids.
No.
No.
For the kids,
No.
Mary. We had a cutoff at 8, but one thing we want to talk about, the Jason Taylor Foundation. Mary was going to talk to you about it. So can we just talk about that real quick, and then we'll let you guys.
I would not be very good at my job if I said no. We could have to end this now. I would love to. Thank you for asking.
Will you tell us more about it? I know that I think it was you and I that spoke about it last year. You reached out with a poetry competition.
Yep. We got to get you writing this year.
We do.
Well,
and
you were like, you were riding a pretty ferocious wave of, stardom, NFL stardom right there. Yeah, I would love to tell you about it. And before I even say that, and OJ and I both enjoy, what the three of you are doing is, I think, trailblazing. And so kudos to the three of you for doing what you're doing, for winning over a community that is exceptionally male heavy. I think that's pretty special. And then to have, superstars in the industry like Mina Kimes say, "Hey, ladies, DM me," and they want to come on the show. And I think she's probably the first of many. I think that I think what you're doing is awesome. I know that when we were invited to be a part of the network, the late, great Jason Jenkins had a vision for what a podcast network could look like, and he felt like female voices were critically important. And there's a number of them, but the three of you have teamed up to do something very special. So congratulations on that. I also want to say, Mary, so my mother was a career educator in elementary school, And I think if she, she was pretty ill when you were doing all your cool stuff. Well, you continue to do cool stuff, but I think she would have been just blown away to see the stuff that you're doing with your students and how you're finding creative ways to inspire them. So kudos to you for that as well. The foundation. So we are in our 20th year. We just July this month became our 20th year.
Happy anniversary!
Thank you. Yeah, it's pretty. We're pretty proud of it.
Great.
I was talking to JT about it just recently because we're about to roll out our Cool Gear for the School Year program for the 20th time. Juice has promised me he'll come out and shop again. I think he's probably been to like 18 of the 20. And, by the time we've closed the registers, we will have given out $370,000 worth of clothes to more than 1,200 kids over the last 2 decades. So just really proud of what we've done, and something I never thought I'd be doing, leaving the Dolphins Media Relations Department to start the organization. But Jason is a big believer that nobody owes us anything in life, but if an opportunity comes your way, you darn sure better be prepared for it. And so he wanted us to focus heavily on helping young people and preparing them. And so we focus on a number of different things when we say children in need, but education and empowerment are our 2 biggest pillars. And so we have scholarship and mentorship programs, after school literacy program. We have a learning center in his honor at the Holtz Children's Hospital down in Miami. We just launched a new careers in sports network 2 years ago now, and hired one of Juice's former teammates and JT's former teammate, and Troy Drayton, who's the director of the program. He's doing incredible work. So we just try to find creative ways, much like you do, Mary, to inspire young people, to empower young people, to put them in a position to hopefully be the best version of themselves. And we've been doing it for a long time. I had hair when we started. That's how long it's been.
Yeah, I've seen some pictures.
Yeah. You don't remember it though. So that's what we do at the foundation. And Jason he's got a lot of things going on in life, and he's coaching and everything else, but it remains important to him. It's a legacy that he's established. His kids have been involved, and it's just hopefully we're making a difference in his community that all 5 of us here care about.
That's awesome.
Thank you for asking.
Amazing. And this year we gotta get my kids writing in the whole school. That would be awesome.
It would be great. Yeah. What we need to do is we'll send you our poetry curriculum, and you can pick and choose anything you find valuable there. In fact, I think you might have even messaged at some point that you were trying to enhance.
I did.
the poetry deliverables. So we got you. Our Blue Apple Poetry team has you, but then our Blue is for Apples poetry competition is something that your students absolutely need to be participating in.
So I kind of introduced it because, like you said, there was a lot going on, and I didn't read the instructions on it to the fullest. Yeah. So when I introduced it to my students, I had a couple of them submit poems.
Oh, man.
They were not on, I know, and they were not, but they weren't the way that it was. I know they wrote, and I hugged them in my classroom, but I was like, I don't think this is the format. I don't think this is the format that they wanted.
Yeah, we'll get you there. We'll connect you. In fact, that'll happen
awesome.
This week.
Absolutely.
Amazing.
Very cool.
All right. And we will close off with one last thing I do want to say. OJ, we know that you are called Mr. Third Down. And so my question to you is, if we run into a issue like we did last season, will you be able to put on some pads and get in there and help us out?
Hell yeah. As much as they pay these guys nowadays, I'll go in there for one snap. Damn right. Get a full game check. Yeah, count me in. So, Brittany.
OJ says, show me the money.
Yeah.
I think what's the veteran minimum right now, Big Seth? $1 million?
What is
$1.2 million? Divide that by 17, carry the 1. Man, hell, I'll take that money all day.
While you're at it, if you're bringing other people, bring Dwight with you.
Yeah, well, Dwight be great still.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, he'd be great.
He could be a backup. I'm just saying we need a backup center.
Could you imagine if we could build like the perfect team from like all Dolphins combined? Oh my God.
We'll have to do that.
Legendary.
We'll do that one day.
Yeah, we will.
Would you have to let everybody know the other teams, they've got some guys too.
This is true.
Damn good. As long as only we can do it.
Right. Only we can do it. Right. Only us.
Super team.
Thank you guys so much for coming on. We've had so much fun. This was
awesome.
It was a blast.
It
was great.
Honor to be on with you ladies, man. It was really good, fun stuff, and keep up the great work, man. This is awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Goodbye, everyone, and we will see you next time.
Bye, y'all.
Stop. What do you call two bald-headed podcasters?
Oh.
Seth and OJ?
The fish tank. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
There it is.
But you guys
There we
already
go.
joke.
Yeah.
Nah.
Don't be mean to my friends like that.
Hey, we both have. We
until
both
this moment.
follically challenged. All right,
My
who's
brother
next?
sent it to me.
All
Oh,
right.
he made.
That's good. Yeah, I like that, Brittany. You can write that down. Write that down, Big Seth.
Down. Got it.
It's down. Okay.